Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me thank the organizers for the kind invitation. I promise to be brief. So, with the developments, with the war in Ukraine raging and European market shifting towards alternatives to Russia, the Eastern Mediterranean, though by no means an energy El Dorado, may well contribute to the security of Europe's supply. But the war between Israel and Hamas creates a new state of affairs and may complicate certain aspects of the energy equation in the Eastern Mediterranean. Israel is a very important player, and any suspension of works, as we have already seen in the case of Tamar, and with 12 additional exploration licenses granted just a few days ago, will negatively impact the regional dynamic and the approach engagement, not only of the companies involved, but also future customers. But unless an infrastructure is attacked, I don't think that Israel will suspend its programs. Due to certain problems in Egypt, which I will talk about shortly, Israel and Cyprus had come very close with a strong possibility of joint ventures. And this possibility may well remain. In any case, plans and thoughts are already being revised, including, for example, plans for exporting Israeli gas via Turkey. Israel's trust in the Turkish leadership was already shaky, and now, since decisions have to be made quickly, given that the countdown has already begun, it will be extremely difficult, however much pressure is exerted by the companies, for Israel to take such a big geopolitical risk. Although I would like to stress that Turkey is, together with Egypt, the biggest market in the region and therefore a potential client. However, the fact is, this state of affairs is turning Israel towards Cyprus and Greece, with Egypt as something of a variable X, in spite of its enormous importance in geopolitical and energy terms. The drastic reduction in production on the part of Egypt, in combination with its demographic explosion and its inability to supply the entire market due to the effects of the climate crisis, limit Egypt's export potential. And the Sisi regime, whose stability has been undermined by the effects of the war in Ukraine on the Egyptian economy, will have to prioritize covering the needs of the domestic market in order to avoid a backlash from the Egyptian people. And it will have to do this through low, subsidized prices. Therefore, Egypt's dynamic as the main gas exporter in the region, due to its existing LNG facilities, is now being called into question. Still, Cairo enjoys the comparative advantage of its existing LNG facilities in Idku and Damietta, which provide both Israel and Cyprus with an opportunity to export, making supplementary use of this infrastructure. On the other hand, we cannot say with certainty how the current crisis will impact Israel's plans, because if, for example, its relations with Arab countries deteriorate to pre-2020 levels, then we cannot rule out a return to Israel's plan to use a large portion of its natural gas for the domestic market, with a corresponding reduction in quantities for export. In other words, longer-term energy autonomy for Israel. Of course, such a decision on the part of Israel would be a negative scenario, given the challenges Egypt is facing and the fact that Cyprus obviously cannot on its own meet the challenge of transforming the Eastern Mediterranean into an energy supplier for international markets. And one last thing that might fuel the discussion: any further marginalization, or to put it more accurately, self-exclusion of Turkey from energy developments may force Ankara, under different conditions, to return to the aggressive moves of the past, sending out seismic research vessels or drilling platforms initially on the Cypriot continental shelf. Moreover, if Turkey finds that plans are progressing that run contrary to its interests, as it maximalistically perceives them, it is also likely to cultivate a sense of instability and insecurity in investors and the market. Or, it may provoke some artificial tension in Cyprus to discourage investors from taking the final step. But we have to ask ourselves, who, after all is said and done, benefits from disruption of the Eastern Mediterranean's image in the energy market? As I read recently, Russia is trying to strengthen its influence in Eastern Libya in a move that shows that, if nothing else, it is interested in the developments of in the Eastern Mediterranean. Thank you.